Hockey 605, and we're here with Bert Post at the hockey headquarters. We're going to learn about skates today. Thanks for taking time with us, Bert.
Oh, thanks so much for coming by.
Well, we've been in here and looked at your skates and drooled quite a few times. There are a lot of different kinds of skates. What all kinds of skates do you carry?
Oh, by gosh, that's an open-ended question there. Entry-level skates, compliments of me being a younger brother. I never had a new pair of skates to begin with, so I'm very happy to say we have a nice large inventory of used skates. And as you can see behind us, we definitely have the top-of-the-line skates as well as quite a few different price points in the middle. Yeah. We should have almost all of them.
Well, and you carry figure skates as well, but you are hockey headquarters.
Absolutely. Thank God for the figure skaters so we can afford the ice here in town. Other than that, besides for those dangerous toe picks, we do carry a couple models, yes.
Well, and obviously there's a few brands out there. What are the most popular brands for you?
Oh, in the hockey equipment world, as you guys probably know, Bauer's the most popular. CCM has definitely been one of the top few brands over the last 7,500 years. The company's been around for 100 years. Easton's been kind of hit and miss. They definitely have some high quality product now, although they've kind of left a void when it came to some of the price pointed items. Reebok's still a popular skate, Reebok and CCM being the same company.
Now, you're a rink rat from way back, right?
Compliments of the Sioux City Municipal Auditorium. I definitely am a rink rat.
So how have you seen skates change since you first started skating?
That's a good question. How have skates changed? Welcome to technology taking over this wonderful sport of ours. Boots used to be made of leather, which made it a lot easier to break in. I still remember as a kid having a junior player living in our house, sitting on the edge of the bathtub with his leather skates getting all soaked sopping wet so they'll conform to his foot. Leather started to get wet and heavy during the game, so now leather's been replaced by plastics. No more getting your skates wet to break them in. Now we use an oven, and a convection oven will soften those boots up and help conform to your foot. So there's definitely some differences over the years.
Well, let's grab a skate and learn about what the different parts are.
Well, here, we've got a skate right here.
Well, there's a skate right there.
By gosh.
How lucky are we?
This is a Vapor X50 skate, which is a $150 senior price point, $100 on the junior skate. Gee, by golly, some of the differences that you'll notice between some brands, one of the major difference, of course, is going to be fit. All things considered, when you have equal price points, the quality of the skate's going to be the same. The difference is going to be the fit. One model will be a little bit wider than another model, and that definitely matters. We want to try to minimize the amount of space that you have inside that boot so your foot doesn't move around a little bit.
Okay, so you have the top parts of the boot, and that's made of what?
Oh, by gosh, that's a darn good question. What is this thing made out of? Primarily the stiffeners, which are the most important part of the boot, are going to be made out of different layers of plastics. Okay. There's some high-end plastics known as Surlyn, which is a little bit lighter than some of the other plastics. But all in all, it is, I hate to say, to dummy this down, a plastic boot. Cut-resistant materials on the outer shell. More expensive skates will have a tighter weave, which will be we use the phrase stitch per inch. You have more cut resistance, and then I'm happy to say some of the more expensive skates, the top end ones, have composite outer shell, and those things are pretty darn cut resistant as well. So cut resistance on the outside, plastic in the middle, and then the inside of the boot is going to be a different type of liner. Dollars and cents dictate the quality of liner that you have on the inside, but the main objective is the better the liner, the faster it'll dry out. The faster it dries out, there's less bacteria growth, which matters to us parents, and there's less water retention, so the boot stays lighter in the long run.
And less foot smell.
That's a badge of courage for some of us.
Okay, now the bottom part, what's this part called?
That's the blade holder. Some people like to use the word toque, but that happens to be a brand name, just like using a Kleenex. That's tissue. So the blade holder, there's two different qualities of blade holders. The lower price pointed skates have the steel permanently attached to the holder, and then some of the higher holders, higher quality holders, will enable you to replace the steel in case it was to break or over excessive sharpening and you need to replace the steel.
Okay. Now the plastic blade holder, can that break?
Oh, you bet. Come on, this is hockey. Everything can break. Blade holders, there is some different qualities of stiffness in the holder. Over the years, they've tried to come out with some different holders that offer additional benefits. There was a company called T-Blade a few years ago, I think they still exist, had an extremely stiff blade holder. That helps when it comes to the energy transfer. Quite often, us big guys, when we push off with our skates, the softer blade holders will bow and bend, and we're using our own energy to flex that plastic, as opposed to the higher quality holders that'll be stiffer and it'll give you a better energy transfer.
Oh, and energy transfer would be important for takeoff?
Oh, I want to go fast.
Okay.
I'm blood, sweat, and tears to form that energy off of my thighs. I don't want to lose that energy flexing plastic. I want that energy to push me down the ice. So you betcha.
So now what about the blades? Is there a difference in the blades?
Entry-level skates will have a carbon steel blade, which is a softer steel. Higher quality skates will have a stainless steel, and then they have something called super stainless. And then I hate to admit I'm a little thin in my knowledge. There's also some more dense steel that is used in some of the top-end skates as well.
Okay.
The denser the steel, the longer it will hold an edge. The softer steel, you'll have to replace you have to sharpen it more often.
And that was my next question. How often do you sharpen them?
Oh, well, that depends on use. I've heard some people say somewhere between 6 to 8 hours. That would be on average 6 to 8 practice sessions if you take care of your stuff. Use those skate guards and protect the blades when they're in the bag, and you could probably get 8 to 10 hours. Some people maybe a little more, some a little less. If you go outdoor skating, the ice outside tends to be a little dusty, a little gritty, so you have to get your skate sharpened more often. And depending on what part of the country you are, softer ice, you don't have to get your skates sharpened as often. Harder ice, you'll have to keep them sharpened.